Bro, I gotta tell you this. My phone cut me out so many times, 8 times, because my phone was out of storage. My parents kept coming into my room, interrogating me. Oh my gosh, so annoying. It's almost, I was saying I'm gonna sleep at around 10:30ish. Now it's 12:16. I'm gonna die, bro. I swear. But anyways, still gotta keep this video for you. I'm gonna keep recording videos just for you. So, for you that are still in high school, there are a few lessons that I compiled throughout my high school years before I enter my senior year in less than a week. That's kind of crazy, right? Time passes so quickly, and just realize that you'll be entering senior year in less than a week. And for you that are still in high school, there are 2 lessons that I compiled. 2 lessons for you to remember. The simplest laws of the universe that can help you succeed or do better than you are right now. Let's cut into the story. So it was back in 2019 where we had our glorious Fortnite days, messing up with the Zoom background. Man, that was such an innocent time for us. But there was that particular night where I just stared at my ceiling at my house, and I was thinking, what have I accomplished? And I was questioning myself, like, what have I actually accomplished throughout this few years? Not few years. What have I accomplished throughout the year in grade 7? And I thought to myself, other than messing around in the Zoom classes and playing Fortnite, I've actually done nothing. I felt that sort of shame and guilt in me. My parents were working so hard. Think about back in those times. My parents were working so hard just to keep the lights and water running, and the life remained relatively the same before COVID and post COVID. They worked so hard, and in order to keep me comfortable, and there I was wasting every resources. Oh my gosh, my mom's calling me. Anyways, the point is that they did everything to support me, but I couldn't, and I was just wasting everything. And I just told myself on that night that I had to do something with myself. To do something with myself, but also do something for my parents. So, in grade 8, I told myself that I have to become this academic weapon. I have to become this academic weapon and become something of myself. And for my parents to be proud of something. To be proud of their son. And like in the story of the alchemist, the beginner's luck. I did well, and I was top of my class in the Zoom lessons. Man, I was maxing out my grades to 100%, to the point of where there was no flaws in any Zoom assignments. But life quickly turned down. In reality, when it was back to face-to-face learning, the real assignments, the real tests, really questioned my determination in school. This particular math class, I just realized that I was out of my league, not out of my league, but I was not in the level of where my classmates were. I was performing so much worse than the students in my class, and they were all mostly from mainland, and they're here and they're there just maxing out all the tests, maxing out every assignments they were giving, and there I was just being so confused. And there was this particular math test that really kicked my self-doubt up. And I just really asked this question, am I even made for this? Test after test and days after days. That sort of insecurity starts to creep into me. And I was being that absolute nerd, Asian nerd, with his braces on, asking the wrong questions to the teachers, the points where no one wants to even talk to me. I was being an annoying kid in the classroom. And at last, in the end of the year, his grades performed the most average out of class, just like the average students. He felt sorry for himself. He felt that he could have achieved more than what life gave him. So he thought there was an easy route into life, and that he just acted the same way as the average students did. Oh boy, was he wrong. There he was, acting like a fool, acting like a boy, fooling around, and to the point where he was just barely passing every class. Each class he did, he was just barely passing. And even the teachers had to send a letter to his parents about what was going on with him. That sort of insecurity slowly swallows me and into grade 10. There was this particular day where the teacher was handing out the test backs, and he realized he just failed. And you know what the average students do, that if they fail the test, they cover up, and however, some annoying dude sneaks into my desk and found out my score. It was during lunchtime, we were in the cafeteria where someone had heard my name everywhere else, saying that Colin just failed his math test. Oh, and he couldn't keep up with the image of being that perfect kid he wanted for his parents to know. He ultimately failed himself. Cleaning his plate of food after lunch, he ran straight to the bathroom, biting his fingers, crying to his parents, telling them the bad news. Whatever his mom told him about to comfort him, he just knew that his dreams were too far within reach anymore. Everything was falling out of his hands. Everything that he wanted years ago was just too far. However, the Lord, my God, or whatever you believe in the universe, or whatever you believe in, but to me, the Lord had blessed me with a tutor that mentored me in math, but also in life. He humbled me in so many ways, in ways that I would want to give you the first lesson, the first piece of advice that will help you ultimately as a person, not only as a student, but as a young man, which is to let this phrase sink in, that you are a man. Because being a man is so much different than being a boy. Being a man is just like how you're carrying that sort of responsibilities to yourself. You know, it doesn't matter what happens or whatever circumstances is happening to you. Becoming a man is the responsibility to keep going forward no matter what. No matter how hard is it, you still gotta be the man that supports his family, of course. I'm not saying his family, you gotta support his family. Imagine this, your ancestors. I bet at the age of 14, he already had plans to establish a family, and he was working at the age of 14. At the age of 17, he had his first kids. But there you are at the age of 17, and I'm 17, and he's still finding his purpose in life. And to many of there's so many young there's so many kids out there that are still finding out their purpose, or they're not even close to finding the purpose. They're just still being that kid, that same kid. And once you actually tell yourself that you are a man, and that you don't tell yourself that you are a kid, because saying that you're a kid is not fair to yourself, because you biologically you are a man. You are a man. You're not a kid. In law, of course, you're considered a kid, but biologically you are a man, and you have to do whatever it takes to perform to become the man you told yourself to be, to keep those dreams alive, to keep doing what you need to do in order to support your future self and support your future family and future wife. Be a man for yourself, but also for your future self and the future that is ahead of you. That's the first lesson. Be a man. Be responsible and be accountable for yourself of all the mistakes that you have done. That's the first lesson. Sorry, I had to cut that out because my parents were like knocking again. But back to the topic. Door's locked. Door's locked. Is the focus on? Bro, keep the focus on. Good. Back on it. That's the first point. Becoming a man. Becoming accountable to yourself. And doing whatever it takes to, not whatever it takes, but it comes down to the simplest habits of what to do to become responsible for whatever you're doing. Okay, let me stop and talk about the first lesson. The second lesson is that you rise to the level of your systems and not your goals. So what that really means is, it may sound fancy or whatnot, but if you ever experience insecurity, self-doubt, and your fears of not able to accomplish your dreams, that is the setbacks that many people will not ever realize in their lives. You see, there's so many talented people out there that are so result oriented because they haven't experienced this sort of setbacks they have. But people that are process oriented, people that experience setbacks, they understand themselves much better. They're conscious about themselves, not in a negative way, but in a positive way, where they understand that they are and who they are and the values that they carry out day in, day out. And for me, all these years has allowed me, all these setbacks of all these years have allowed me to understand myself better, and the limitations and the limits that I can go as far as I could. And you are the only limit to yourself. That's how I've encountered myself, how I understand myself better. And that is why once you understand how to optimize your life, knowing the sort of system you apply to yourself, you will ultimately reflect that sort of energy, the sort of aura that people can absorb. You will naturally, once you rise to the level of your system, naturally people will attract to you. Quality people within your level will attract to you, not only to your friends, but your family and everybody else that is around you. People will naturally, the level of people will attract to you naturally. And that is how you actually succeed. Not only do you look at goals, because goals are short-term motivations that keeps you within, that helps you, like, carries you to the future that you want. But once you understand how to rise to the level of systems, it's like a process. It's a process, lifelong process of improving yourself through discipline, through understanding, not the sugar-coated discipline, understanding of discipline, but the real understanding of discipline, responsibility, and consistency. That is how men carry out their day-to-day activities. And I just hope that once you keep those understandings, those sort of 2 lessons that compound throughout my, I don't know how many years, there's several years of high school before I enter my senior year. Hope that those lessons will really help you excel in whatever you do, whether it's academics. But most importantly, I hope that this lesson can apply to you, to your personal life. I want that. So yeah, I want to see you succeed. Stay hard. Never doubt yourself, because your only limit is you. See you in the finish line.